awesome. I think we're recording because I see a red
Yeah,
light.
it says red.
We are.
Typically a red light.
We're not live though, right?
Not live, but we're just recording. Unless Barb is just...
I was trying to race you.
Oh, well, that was synchronized.
Right. Hello.
Hello,
And,
interweb.
Yeah. So this is a bit of a impromptu. Well, not really.
Like we kind of had an idea what we were going to do a few days ago.
Sure. So the long and short of it is we're a little behind. We watch a couple movies that we've yet to talk about, including the one we just watched. So instead of this being a live show, because we are missing a couple people, number one, our sound engineer, which is why this probably doesn't sound up to the quality it should.
Also, we are missing our musically talented person in the background doing our ambiance music.
Yes, Kaylor actually had a great idea. He thinks we should just take the footage of Mike playing from the other episodes. Because I'm going to edit it in. So we would just say something like, Mike! Stop it, Mike! And like he'll just him playing it. Yeah. Which would have just happened if I'm feeling extra.
Yeah, just cut that part out.
Sure. Yeah. So, yeah. Mike will be here in spirit and
but not physically
editing.
with us.
He's not physically with us.
Yeah, in
whatsoever.
post he's here.
Right.
We'll just fix it in post.
Yeah.
As an editor, I bet you love hearing people
Oh yeah.
say that.
must be the
Right.
best thing.
Segue.
So anyway, we've watched a few movies. Back to the movie, as they say.
Because I
The
think
first
we
movie we
that.
watched was actually not on a planned Friday screening. This just kind of happened midweek. We all happened to be
This
here.
was kind of Corinne's random choice.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, are we talking about Mario or this one? Okay, well,
We're
sorry.
talking about Phenomena. Phenomena.
I picked this movie because I couldn't decide what movie to watch, so I walked in here and went up and grabbed one of these movies, specifically from the bug category. I don't know if you can see that. I think it's that missing spot up there, but we got this one.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this movie, Grant?
It's about a girl, and she has a...
Wait, would you say this is the story of a girl? Wait, you guys know that song?
Oh, Fresh
Yes.
Prince? Are you doing
No, what?
Fresh Prince?
No.
Oh, I thought you were like, sorry, like, no, this is a girl.
No, it's the... This is the story of a girl. She cried a river and
Around
drowned
the whole world, and she looks so sad in photographs. I absolutely love her when she
Yeah.
gets her monkey to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, now I know.
And she, like, gets bullied by some girls, and she summons her flies to, like...
Oh, hold on. Tell us what the movie's about. You're getting ahead of yourself.
Well, there is the back, too. You could say.
Oh, you could read them.
You could read that.
I ended up really liking this movie a lot. But it's about a girl who likes bugs. And she has a rich dad. She gets sent to some boarding school. But around the area, there's been some killings. And she gets these brain images of people dying. While she also has a connection to bugs. So she ends up meeting a scientist.
Who also likes bugs?
Likes bugs. What is it called? Entomologist?
Entomologist. Yeah.
And yeah, and it's basically that. That's the premise, and I really loved it.
Well, you also forgot that the entomologist,
Oh, have a
he
monkey.
is wheelchair bound.
Yep.
And has a
Just like a little
helper chimpanzee.
The actress did get attacked by this chimpanzee looking thing. I did look
In
at
real life.
it. In real life.
The real world.
Which is
Typically,
why
anyone who works with a chimpanzee
you
gets
shouldn't.
attacked by a chimpanzee.
The thing is like they didn't even need the chimpanzee in the story.
Oh, I disagree. Significantly.
Well, yeah.
I think the movie would have
It
been
was less good.
less enjoyable.
Well, with the
I don't know, like,
ending,
it really-
there is a specific part where
Yes.
the monkey, the chimpanzee, is like
An important thing you need to know
I know.
is this chimpanzee likes to play with a razor blade.
I don't know.
That is
Maybe
factual.
it's because my favorite part of this movie was the premise of the girl and
The bugs.
the bugs, and finding out the killer using like specifically flies who have a tendency to eat dead things. So like, if someone keeps corpse,
In case it wasn't clear at this point,
it's like a horror.
she
thing.
communicates with bugs. It's a special ability she has. She can communicate with and control them. She's kind of like an Aquaman for insects,
Yes.
basically.
But that's what I thought was cool. And I think the author of the script and the director, I think in interviews that's what he said he wanted to make. He was inspired by that idea. That's why I feel like everything else really doesn't matter to the story, because it seemed like he wanted a girl detective with a bug. And then he was like, I gotta figure out what's killing things, and just like picked out the closest thing and was like, here you go. You know,
There's
like
like
that's why I feel like what is killing things in this movie doesn't really matter. It's like a MacGuffin kind of like it didn't matter to me. I don't know.
It's
I
kind
liked it, but I'm saying the premise. I was like, I should just remake this movie because I love it. But I like the premise. But I feel like that stuff, I didn't care about that stuff.
It does kind of feel like that
Okay,
there
my
was.
turn. I'll pass the movie. You talk now.
Go.
It did kind of feel like, I'm kind of going to go along with that. I felt like there was kind of like 3 key ideas that were trying to kind of happen in this.
Sure.
But then there was like one that seemed like that was the purpose of what he wanted to do, like what you said, like the whole like being able to communicate with bugs kind of thing. But then like I don't know, there was like the whole like murder thing that was kind of happening. The monkey chimpanzee just kind of like at first seemed like they was trying to set up for something, but then for a while it's like why are you here? Like what you mentioned with the razor blade thing, like that for most of the movie doesn't really go
Doesn't
anywhere.
really matter. Yeah.
So, this is an Italian movie.
Yes.
Okay, so whenever I hear an Italian movie from this particular time period, I know I'm in for a wild ride.
Okay.
I loved it though.
There's a subgenre. I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, but it's called giallo.
Okay.
Okay, so this is kind of a giallo film, but the main kind of tie-togethers all giallo films have is that there is a razor blade killer, and it's like a whodunit.
Oh.
Okay.
And typically, what you only see is shadowy figures and gloves with, and it doesn't feel. It's usually a blade.
Okay.
It's usually
So
a blade.
then that,
Well,
that
I
kind
guess
of
that
makes
explains
sense.
that.
So
part.
it feels like that was kind of shoehorned in to make it, because that was a very popular
Yeah,
in Italy,
it seems.
subgenre
Yeah,
movie.
like that's that's kind of what I'm saying. Is just you like this idea and you needed to round it out to make it a movie, which I can relate to. So I feel like that's why I feel like.
I feel like we
missing
can
a
also
little.
point out that at least specifically this version has 28 minutes that were previously cut.
Yes, so in
Yeah,
America, this film was called Creepers, and it had 28 less minutes. And I did see that version way back when, and I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that they're trying to make you think the monkey is the killer in that version.
Okay. Well, this does like
Yeah, because you were saying the monkey is in there for that reason, but this movie, I didn't realize that was even a
Possibility.
possibility. It did how I was viewing it, how they edited it. When you were explaining, oh, the killer's the same size. We see it from a very short stature. Only
When we first meet the
hands.
monkey, he's playing with a knife.
Yeah,
Oh,
but-
put that knife down,
And
monkey.
when you said that, it made sense.
Yeah.
Which maybe that's why they edited it, because maybe they realized that's what they're trying to do. Let's make that more clear, because I didn't.
Yeah.
So maybe that was the intention. I just didn't get it from this cut.
there is. I think we all unanimously have agreed that there is just a guy that's just in this movie at one point just for no full purpose. Like there's no introduction of this character.
Oh, there's a
And
guy
he
chained up in a basement.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
shows up. He's screaming, and he's just kind of there.
Yeah, I don't know
Like
who
I
that
said, I think it was just put in there to make a cool scene. Like,
Yeah, just like a shock.
because
factor.
the shock factor of that scene was she's crawling through in the insides of a house, and he's basically a jump scare because we see him get lured inside the house by the person in it, and she gets pulled through a wall, and he's trying to help her, but like accidentally pulls her into this pool of like dead bodies and maggots, and that scene, crazy. That's like the
I
first
feel
scene I've
like
actually gagged. It was really, really gross, but it's like he was only there. Like that's what I'm saying. Like this movie seems like not quite perfect script wise, because he was just put there to pull her into the maggot pool because the maggot pool idea was great. You know, like,
a lot of people use the phrase dreamlike to describe, well, not just this film, but a lot of Dario Argento's, the director.
It was definitely when we get to the house, that's when it starts to just really go crazy. Like when the
at that point
when
it was
like
just
what like the like secretary of the father like brings her to the house,
Sure.
and then just like at that point it just starts to just go into about what we're talking about.
Sure.
Specifically.
So what do we think rating-wise out of 5 stars? Letterboxd rating. What did you guys think of Phenomena?
I'd probably give it 3 stars.
Okay.
I can't remember what I put on there. I think I was going
Actually,
in
I
between
think I
4
did
and
forget
4.5.
it, and I'm saying a thing.
I don't know. Like, now I'm talking about, I still really like it, but I'm being so nitpicky because I love the idea so much, but don't like how they did it. So I think I'm gonna say still 4 stars because I feel like it could have been better somehow. I don't
I
know.
said 3.5.
Okay. I can't remember what I gave it either, but I want to say 4. I thoroughly enjoyed this one.
Do you
All right.
want to
I
hold the
recommend
movie
that
for like
one.
the last few seconds?
Good one.
Holding movie for the last few seconds. I also want to thank our guest editor. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there, yeah.
Our guest editor, Barb. Thank you, Barb, for standing in tonight. It's really nice not to hold this thing. All right.
Dude,
Before
wanna
we
talk
move
about
on to
the-
the next one, we did do a Club Odyssey field trip.
Yes.
By the way, we are Club Odyssey, 80 Water Street, only on to New York. Come by, hang out, watch a movie. We did a field trip and went and saw, what is it? Is it called the Super
It's
Mario
called
or just Mario Brothers?
The Super Mario Brothers movie.
Alright, so we went and saw the Super Mario Brothers movie. It wasn't necessarily a cult cinema thing, but all 3 of us saw it together
Yes.
with a
With a
pretty
group of
large
people.
group of people.
I mean, it kind of became it because we specifically watched the 90s
We did watch
version
the 93
first.
one like the week
That's
before.
true. Which you can watch right now. It is here on the channel. So, we went and saw the new Super Mario Brothers. Anyone want to say anything about that? Or
I guess I
I got a lot of negative things.
can. You got a line.
Really, you do?
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
not
our,
like-
I thought you
our
liked
editor.
Wait, you've seen it?
I didn't watch
They
it
have-
yet.
Oh, okay. We won't
Okay,
spoil.
we
We
can't
won't
spoil
spoil
No
anything.
spoils.
No spoils. I mean, it's just what you would expect from a
Barb
Mario
has not seen it.
Can't
yeah,
mention
but
the
I
Jack
know.
Black
But like,
thing.
what do you think would happen from a Mario movie? Because that's what happens.
Okay.
You know, like there's no. I guess it could be a comfort film because you know what to expect, even if you've never seen it before. You know.
Sure.
Which I think that's definitely a great side of this. Like, it doesn't force. It's not trying to like explain like Mario to you because like I think they
I think-
kind of know
yeah.
being like. It's Mario. Like, no one
Yeah.
plays the game to be like, I'm gonna play Mario for the story. No, it's pretty straight to the point of like what you're expecting. I feel, and that, I guess for some people that could be a great thing and to a bad thing. As a person that kind of is going in just to see this as like a Mario movie and have a good time, it was pretty good in my opinion. Oh right, you're just saying because you only have negative stuff to say.
No, I don't have just negative. I saw the movie
that's what you
twice.
just- I did too.
I saw it twice.
I
did
don't know.
too.
I feel like when I first watched it, I was just, I think while I was watching, I hated it, and I think maybe I was being too hard on it. I think it's just, I don't know how they wrote the script, but I didn't like how they talked. I don't know. It just something felt weird.
It is like a group of all-star cast, which I guess can be.
I don't know. And also, like, I love Luigi's character, but he wasn't in it enough. I feel like he wasn't in it.
He
enough.
what I think that is definitely a downside to it because it is called the has brothers in the
Yeah,
title and you
he
kind of
wasn't in there
just
enough.
see Mario and Peach together, which probably going into this you'd be like, well, isn't she the one that's supposed to be captured? But probably like trying to be like, oh, like we need like.
Something. I guess that's the thing that's different.
But that is
that's not a
what
spoiler.
the voice actress did say. If
That's
she
what she
was going to
wanted.
be, it's just like this is kind of what it has to be, or else I'm not going to do this.
Well, Jack Black obviously did amazing. So
Yes, Jack Black did the.
If Riley was here,
Yes,
he would say the
if our
contrary.
sound guy.
what? He said he didn't
That's
like
why
it.
he's not seeing.
That's
the
why
movie.
you won't see the movie.
Why?
He
Because
thinks
Jack
Black
Black's-
is a horrible Cooper.
And on top of that, we
Bowser.
mentioned that he
Why?
does sing in the movie.
I mean, he
See?
lowers his
Yes.
voice.
I thought he was one of the best. To be honest, I did not like Peach's voice of all of them.
I get that.
Well, Cranky Kong was the
Yes,
absolute
that's
worst, but
probably the one that everyone at this point is kind of saying. Like Cranky Kong is like, no.
bad choice. I like that actor. Bad choice. I found myself not as disappointed in the voice acting as I thought it would be. I wasn't, offended by Chris Pratt's Mario.
Okay.
As initially as everyone thought it'd be horrible. It wasn't that bad. I liked Luigi's voice. Peach, her very first lines of dialogue seemed like it's even out of sync. It's very strange. I got used to it as it went on. Cranky Kong was the worst voice of them all. Couple weird choices. Music. Anytime they used actual Mario music, it was amazing. Whenever they tried to use modern music, it always felt like they're using the wrong song for the wrong visual.
I mean, you don't picture Take on Me for the Donkey Kong Country
No.
area.
Well,
Now, that was
Can we go
so
back to-
weird.
Phenomena and their music choice.
Oh, okay. What about it?
Can you describe what kind of music it was, though?
Boombastic. The band that does a lot of Dario Argento's music, their name is Goblin. They are very synth heavy, but also like rock band. They're just really in your face and
Yeah, it's definitely music you wouldn't expect.
no, and it still works somehow.
Mhm.
It's very Argento with his visuals and his sound. It is very in your face, which is strange that everyone describes his work as dreamlike, because that is a dream you'd probably immediately wake up from. But yeah, so
We'll have to watch more of his stuff.
yes, we will.
Can I get like geeky with the Mario? Because
Back to
Yeah,
Mario.
go for
Okay.
it.
just so,
Sorry. Yeah.
no,
Go
just to
Go ahead.
because like in the Mario one, I was kind of like the one kind of critiquing it from like the game kind of part, just to kind of. I won't go
You and
too
your
in
game
depth.
knowledge.
Okay.
Kind
Go
of stuff.
ahead.
Sure.
I'll just say like there's a lot of like little Easter eggs. Like if you played all the games, you can just kind of see a lot of different stuff. Like obviously they have like the mushrooms, like the different types. The blue one, the tiny one, is actually a mushroom in the games too. I don't know if anybody knew that.
Yeah. I think I
Yeah,
knew that.
that you can
Yeah.
jump higher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can like kind of like more like Peach's floating thing.
Oh, okay.
The thing that really I personally like thought was probably the best thing in the movie personally was like there was like a flash, like when Luigi's being taken off by Bowser, he has like this flashback of him and Mario as kids, like with Spike, their previous job, like
Yeah,
their previous
Baby Mario.
yeah, Baby Mario and Baby
Yeah.
Luigi, and at one point there's Baby Peach too, but like those are actually like very like look pretty dead on to their representation of the game stuff.
Sure.
I don't know why that really like got to me, being like, oh, like this is actually representing. Because like I guess like probably I was thinking from the first Mario movie with the director being like, I'm making the original of this. Like I'm not taking the games aspect
Right.
into consideration. Like the games are just bad representations of what I'm doing. But then in this, it was actually like, oh, we're actually being like accurate to how the game kind of portrays this.
It did seem very accurate for the most part. I
Yeah.
didn't see anything that was not.
I don't know. That's the one part where I like teared up. So I got emotional with the Mario movie.
Teared up.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
what do you rate
You
it?
teared up in the Mario movie.
Yes, I teared up at the very beginning of just seeing like Nintendo up on the screen.
Nostalgia.
Wow.
Yeah, like
The waterworks.
it got me. It
Okay.
really did.
Okay,
Okay.
well, what do you rate it?
I'm trying to think of how I rated it the first time because I saw it twice. It was definitely not as good the second time because I was more focused on the story, and the story was like, it happened. Like it's what you get. You guys say yours. 'Cause
I give it 2 Seth Rogen laughs.
out of 5.
No, there was just 2 Seth Rogen
Well,
laughs in the
okay,
movie.
but you're the one that specifies like letterbox, right?
Oh yeah. No. I was pulling a Riley just.
Oh,
So,
okay.
no. There were 2 Seth Rogen laughs.
There were.
How egregious. Yeah. Come on, Donkey Kong. What are you doing? No, what did you give it? 3.5? What did you
I
say?
felt
4?
like the laugh fit Donkey Kong though.
It
It
did.
It
count.
did.
Yeah.
I say 3. It was fine. I kind of hated it, but I also didn't. So I don't know.
You said the original one is better.
The 90s, I think I had more fun with that one.
That's fair.
Like, I feel like it's a better, more interesting movie, but a terrible Mario movie.
So it shouldn't be titled that.
No, it could be literally anything else, and they could change the characters' names, and you would never know it was a Mario movie, but it was fun. I liked it. It was pretty fun. I liked it.
It could be called Tony versus the Dinosaurs.
Honestly-
Dino Man.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yes.
I'd probably give it 4 out of 5.
Dino World.
Yeah. All right. I think I gave it a 3.5. But that's the thing. It's like my ratings, I do look at them like grades, but I also look at them as like, as far as a children's movie, you know, an animated movie, you know, and trying to make a movie of a video game, I felt like it succeeded in those
Yes.
ways. You
Yeah.
know,
Like, based off the title, I feel like you shouldn't assume more than anything.
It's like, how could they make it better?
I don't
feel
know.
like they did the best they could, honestly.
Yeah.
So, in potentially, you can give it 5 stars for what it is.
I know. they
I'm
can
just
make it
not a
better.
big fan of Mario. So. What?
I know they can make it better.
Of course you did.
Waluigi. That's all you need.
That's
Honestly,
all he wanted.
like,
He
I'd
wanted
probably
that so
give
bad.
it a 4.5, but they didn't. Like, the end credit thing was so
Horrible
underwhelming.
stinger scene. Waste
It's-
of a stinger scene.
It was not worth waiting.
Waiting
after
to the
credits.
very end of the credits. There is one. Not worth it.
Should we just say what it is?
You messed
Like,
up.
No,
You
No,
done messed
okay.
up,
No.
Nintendo.
we'll let them wait and see.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Barb wants to see it.
It's,
Oh, yeah, we don't
it's
wanna
a
spoil it for
stinger.
Barb.
I haven't seen
Don't
it.
wait till the end of the credits, Barb.
Okay.
Watch the movie
You-
and be like, what was at
they-
the end of the credits?
The most I'll say is that
Don't say anything.
you already see something within the movie that is the stinger.
Okay.
What's the point of if you see a thing in the movie?
So
Like,
have it at the yeah.
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. Alright, let's move on to a better movie. Alright. So next, last
wait.
Friday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, this
you
is the
said-
better movie. You're
ah,
right. You're right.
Yeah.
You are.
Last Friday.
I think. Would you say this is better than the Mario movie?
Come on.
I'm nostalgic, so
But you
I was
love
de-
this movie.
I
You
was
were
very
so
engrossed
engrossed.
in this.
We
so-
watched Shadow in the Cloud. This just came out relatively recently. 2020. 2020
Yes.
Shadow in the Cloud. Probably one of the newer movies we've watched for Cult Cinema Club.
Yes.
This is a movie that, if there isn't much of a cult, it definitely deserves one.
We are the cult.
This is the cult.
Well, like I guess
cult
there
of
is like
Shadow
the
in the
cult
Cloud.
that says that it's a B movie, but I guess we're the cult.
But
There
it's
is.
not.
But-
There's a
no,
lot
that's
of
what I'm
people on
saying.
Letterboxd that say this is so bad it's good.
We're the
or it's
cult.
a B movie. It's not.
We're
This
the
is just a
cult
good
of the
movie.
cult saying that this is not. A
It's just fun. Like, why does a movie have to make sense, right?
I think it makes perfect sense.
okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
Am I describing it again?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
And
so
do we want to spoil it? I don't know,
It's
because there's kind of some.
It's because it's like
I guess with the
it
bags
doesn't
was-
make it. I guess we can't properly talk about the movie without spoiling it, though.
So you're gonna. Have to, like,
We can
I don't
definitely
know.
say what one of the gimmicks of the movie is that you don't know
Well,
going in. For the most part, at least 75, 80% of
Yeah.
the movie
mhm.
is in a very confined space. Okay?
like that one movie, telephone, like the telephone
Yeah, phone booth.
phone booth, yeah.
Or there's like a Ryan Reynolds one called Buried, where he's in a coffin the entire time.
Oh, okay.
Kind of similar idea, but
Very like
basically-
bottleneck movie.
yeah, really bottlenecked into one location, one character. It's a character study, a character piece in a way, and you just don't know it's going to be that. Now they don't
Yeah.
they don't commit to it for the whole time. Like it gets wild, but
Mhm.
basically.
Was she explaining it or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
go
guess
ahead,
I
go
can
ahead.
take over.
Sure.
So a woman, army officer, she's like a pilot. She gets on a plane, and the crew doesn't expect her. And she has a spat. It's very important. So the only seat I guess left on the plane is in the turret in the bottom of the plane. So she's like, hey, make sure my bag is safe. And they shove her basically in the turret. They're all assholes and very misogynistic, and that's kind of like one of the stressors of the movie is just that.
Except
she's-
one of them. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a
Yeah,
for
so
those who don't know, old World War II planes had an under turret, so a gunner would be literally hanging in a fishbowl below the plane, more or less, and that's the only seat they have for her. So they throw her down in this thing, so she's down in this gunner underneath the plane. And you
Yeah.
mentioned that all the men are horrible.
Yeah, she's on like a set, so that's all she
She
hears.
can hear
it's already
them. She
stressful.
can hear them all talking about.
Yeah,
her,
there's like an
basically.
intercom that she puts the headphones on, and she can hear all of them.
Yeah.
kind
And
of.
at some point, like, she stands up for herself, and then they're like, well, we'll just turn off the comms. And they turn off the comms. And obviously...
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah,
we don't
but-
have to listen to this.
so that's when things actually start going bad. She sees multiple things go bad that are not really related
She's
in
basically
any way.
trapped. She's trapped in this small space beneath a flying plane, and
tried-
they've turned
yeah.
off the intercom.
Yeah,
so
they also tried to
because they
get
don't
her-
want to listen to her anymore.
They also tried to get her out previously, but the thing was stuck. So this is... They turned off the comms after they already established that they couldn't get the door back open in the turret. So she is basically stuck in this turret.
And there's stuff that is happening to her that nobody else is seeing on the plane. And
Yeah, because she's a woman, so they're
Yeah.
just taking her
they're just
opinion
like,
for granted.
oh, you're
Like
just
she
a
thinks she
different
sees
person.
a Japanese plane, like in the clouds,
Yeah,
and they're like, nope, they don't come out this far. Like you're just a
you're just a
you're
woman.
a dizzy
You're-
cow.
yeah,
You're a crazy dame.
Yeah, and like at one point, like the plane starts to go haywire a little bit,
Yes.
and
From
they,
there, we don't want to go into
No.
too many stories
That-
more.
yeah, that's
You
fine.
really do.
It's
There's
really
some
good.
really,
It's so fun. It's,
really fun,
I
shocking
would say-
things happen.
Don't put a lot of faith in physics. Throw it out the window.
I feel like there's really only like one or two parts like that. Like
The physics.
yeah,
Yeah.
like there's that one specific thing.
Now here's my thing.
We were also watching
If that had
it.
happened to like The Rock or like Bruce Willis, like no one would question
No.
it. They just be
But
like
since-
Maybe they
whatever.
would have, but I don't know. You're
I
right.
think it would be interesting because you
Maybe
watched
it's
this
homage
before
to
us.
Yes,
misogynistic
I had
themes.
seen this one time before.
Like to kind of like give like a brief explanation of how you were seeing all of us kind of like watch.
Yes, I got to people watch as well as
Yes,
a movie watch.
we were fully engrossed, and the thing is like watching this because some of the scenes don't make sense. We were also watching it with Mike, who's usually on piano,
Our piano man, Mike.
and he would be like, "Yeah, no, she would have a concussion. Nope, that thing is dead. Nope."
He just kept commenting out loud, which in a movie typically we're all
It's fine,
doing. You
but
know,
we were like, "Mike,
It was
Mike,
one
shut
of the,
up."
It was
like,
we're-
shut the hell up, Mike.
it was one of the few times where
We actually
we
cared.
were like really engrossed in a movie. Like we like anything that was outside the movie, that was like such a disruption. That
At
would
one
aggravate.
point, Riley walked in,
Yes.
and you could tell he's going to say something humorous,
Mhm.
like, "Oh, what's her deal?" or something, and like you're just like, "No, shut up."
Yeah,
And he's like, "Oh, okay." And he
Well,
left
when
the
Mike would
room.
no, but like after that first time though, Riley kept coming in and he was more quiet. Like he didn't
Yeah.
say anything, and then Mike said something, and I started basically grading everybody in the room, being like, you know, Riley, you're being the best one. Mike, you
I
need
wasn't,
to be
mostly 'cause I was yelling at
Yeah,
Mike,
I'm like,
but-
Yeah,
you're
Brian
doing what
was
I was
like,
supposed to
"Shut
do,
up, Mike."
and then I'm just like, Brian, just do you, just you're doing fine.
So yeah, it was good. It was,
It was
really
really
good.
good.
You guys were like on the edge of your seats. Hunter
yes,
was literally
I really was.
I was
Almost
like
falling out
not
of his
realizing how far I was. I'm like,
Yeah.
You did look like that.
I was so I did not want to leave.
I was so hesitant to watch this movie. I just by looking at it, I thought I would hate it.
I don't know if this says anything, but I don't think I've been like engulfed in a movie since like the new Batman movie.
Okay.
Like I don't know why, because like I don't even have a background in Batman, but like it
Yeah.
somehow like within the theater specifically,
Yeah.
it was like I'm really interested
Yeah.
in what's happening.
Yeah. Shadow in the Cloud. So what did you guys give it out of 5 stars?
4.5.
I give it 4.5.
I think I'd give 4 or 4.5. Yeah. So I mean that's a big.
This is
Yeah.
That's
This one's. I love Phenomena, but this one is a better movie than Phenomenal.
Right.
This is more cohesive.
Yeah, it's more cohesive.
Like you can understand this.
Like it's still out there, but it feels like
There's like
makes sense.
enough there that you could probably come up with a few theories of like what is like kind
Sure.
of actually.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't explain anything, but honestly, it doesn't really
Explains
feel like
enough
it has
to like give you like food for thought that you
Yeah.
kind of.
It
agree
explains
with
the
what
context right in the beginning of the film, so you don't feel like it's coming out of nowhere.
Yes.
Okay. Last movie, the one we just watched.
Oh my gosh, I guess.
Does anyone see with the exception
I
of
guess
Mario?
it was so boring because I forgot what we just watched.
That Soul Survivor.
Soul
Soul
Survivor.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like just very quickly, should we like explain how we kind of all like rate movies? Because like you have,
I don't
like
really,
we have like the star thing, but like we all have our like specific.
Like what
things
stars mean.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if everyone has a thing.
Well, like because like yours is slightly different than mine. I don't really.
I don't know. I feel like for like 3, it's like fine, it's passable. 2.5 and 2 starts to get into movies I just don't like. 3, it's like middle ground, and then 4 and 5 are like, wow, I like it.
So like you just based off like it's not like a percentage kind of thing with your brain. Just like it's just like a like and dislike based off star thing.
Dislike, hate, dislike, neutral, pretty good,
Okay.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, yours is based more like on a term, which I think both of ours are more like
Yeah, I
percentage
kind of look
style.
at stars like grades in high school. You know,
Mine
5
is-
stars, 100%. It's perfect.
Yeah, mine's like 50% is is like average. To
Okay.
me, like pass. That's my passing in my brain.
So who wants to talk about this movie?
So 2.5 is passing.
I'm saying like it just scraped the line of where if someone asked me to watch
I
it
guess that makes
again,
I mean, in a sense, that kind of
probably-
2.5 for me. I wouldn't watch it again, but again,
No,
I
like
wouldn't
by
say
myself, I
dislike
would
it.
not watch this movie again. But if someone else said like, "Oh, can I watch it with you?" I'd be like,
Yeah.
"I guess."
I would
but
also
won't
rate it
really.
like 2.
As you can see, we're trying to avoid trying to talk about what.
We'll
the
just
actual
talk.
thing-
Do you want me to talk? What?
Like you,
I'll do it again. So the movie is this lady got on a plane and everyone died.
And they put her down in the gunner.
I...
Another lady on a plane. Hey, we should see if there's a through line between all these
Oh
movies.
yeah.
Okay, well, after
Anyway, continue.
the movie.
Yeah.
Thank you. She's the only one that lives, and basically she has this feeling, or things start coming back up to her, where death is trying to right the wrong and kill her because she was supposed to die. And if
Oh,
that
you
sounds-
watched Final Destination.
yeah, I was gonna say that was. Hey, I was bringing it up. I was gonna say if that sounds familiar, then it sounds like Final Destination. Because when I was reading the back of this, that's what I thought too. And as Brian told us, what's the fun
I think
fact?
I forget which one admitted to being inspired and which one didn't. But the two movies that this movie definitely reminds you of, in my opinion and a lot of other people's opinion, is Final Destination.
I can grab the other one.
And sure, just don't knock anything. And then the other movie it definitely reminds you of, in my opinion, is It Follows. Gonna go over to this camera. There we go. It Follows. So, like Corinne said, the long and short of it is there's a lone survivor, a soul survivor, if you will. And now death is coming back around to get her. Now, the thing that's a little bit different from
Those two movies.
Final Destination is that death is like creating natural accidents in Final Destination to like kill
Yeah.
all the
Okay.
people. But in this, death can inhabit death or angels or whatever. Because was there ever multiple at the same time, or is it always just one?
Maybe.
I think there was just one. Like, I think at the most there was one. There was one, and like they showed a new one, like right when the other one probably like died again.
So
the other
long,
two in the same spot.
whatever this
Right,
entity is that is trying to right the wrong of people surviving something they shouldn't have, they can only inhabit the bodies of recently deceased individuals, which is where you get kind of the It Follows thing. There are creepy-looking people that slowly walk towards you or just stare at you from afar.
Yeah, there was definitely. I think there was like one or two scenes of the thing just slowly approaching,
Or
a
like
character.
eventually attacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at one point, she's trying to get back up in the elevator, and that
Yeah.
thing is just like.
Walking.
Just,
I guess like I can see why they'd be inspired by it. They're probably like me with Phenomena. Like, wow, amazing idea. Everything else not so great. Let's make a better movie. And then they made Final Destination, which I wouldn't say is the best, but they took an idea and made it different.
Like, it has a following.
So, like, I would say, like, Final Destination, I feel like, does this idea better.
Okay.
Would you say that?
It does add more characters, and it does kind of have more creative kills.
Yeah.
But it does, to me, feels like a hybrid of the two movies, for sure.
Mhm.
Like, I haven't seen either of the movies.
Okay.
Like, It Follows or Final Destination.
Yeah, you worked on one, didn't you?
I worked on what a lot consider the worst Final Destination movie. I believe it was number
You have it right there.
4. It's
Final
called
Destination.
The Final Destination. It was the one that was in 3D. They biffed it, did not make it number 3D, like Final Destination 3D. But yes, it starts with a NASCAR accident. So by far the worst in the series.
Because of NASCAR.
Maybe, and just like, I don't know, it's just everyone, you go on the internet, everyone universally agrees.
Yeah,
it is
that's the
like,
one I haven't seen.
it's the worst one. So, yes, I did work on that. So yeah, Soul Survivor.
It was a movie.
It's definitely not really memorable.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like that you already.
There is,
forgot.
I mean, no one knew or remembered this movie for years. It's more of a recent rediscovery. You know, I think that whole people realizing Final Destination and It Follows was
Yeah.
inspired by. I think that kind of made people interested. I thought it was kind of cool how they did the plane accident without actually showing a plane crash. Like, that was a really cheap
Yeah.
and effective way
I mean,
to convey
yeah.
a plane crash. Just have a person in a chair.
But I
in the
guess I
middle of
kind of liked how
field.
it would happen in Final Destination, because there was some the most memorable one is when everyone was about to die from and she's imagining being killed by all those
logs.
logs on the
Log truck.
highway.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's so fun.
Is the psychic lady thing like a Final Destination thing too, or is that like
kind
kind of like
kind
of. I mean, that's
There's always one person who
who
like
can kind of see it
saw it happen.
and like stopped. Or, like, I think in the
Prevented
log
it.
one, they prevented people from dying from the logs.
I think they cut, instead of having a different person see the thing happen, it's usually the main person who survived saw it beforehand. And they do something with the first movie. They did do something interesting where there's all these little warnings that people kept missing.
Okay.
Like, they're saying the big message of the Final Destination movies is like, if you pay attention, the signs are there that you're gonna die. Kind of
Okay.
like
Isn't
it
there,
might
like,
be a
an
song on the
orange
radio. It
thing?
might be.
Isn't there like a movie that every time you see oranges, someone dies? I don't know why. I heard.
Final Destination sounds like a crazy franchise.
Are you
I
thinking of
don't-
that talking orange thing?
No, I don't know. Maybe I just made something up in my brain. I don't know.
I think there was a creepy Jim Carrey movie called The Number 24, and something about every time you saw the number 24, you die.
Huh.
Maybe, I don't
That's
know.
fun.
I don't. But see the color orange. I don't.
No, like the fruit.
That's
I-
even
I-
worse.
There was this kind of did feel like an accidental funny movie at like weird time. Like it just
No,
felt.
it feels like what was funny. I feel like
I
they
don't
put
know
it
if
in
they
there.
planned it to be funny.
Like the
though.
dialogue, you
I
looked
don't
at the
think it was funny.
dialogue, right?
I was laughing at the dialogue, but specifically so the psychic lady calls the main character like 3 or 4 times, and just says like a plain statement, just kind of being like, "Oh, so how
Oh,
are
you're
you?"
gonna die. Not like that, but like you're gonna die. Hangs up phone.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it. Like I'm just like, why?
I guess it's supposed to be ominous, but I guess yeah, it was kind of funny.
Like there was at one point she's just like, lock your door,
She's like,
tonight, and then
Okay.
hangs up, and with no more context,
Right.
just being like, okay, and
there was one point where she says, "Okay, goodbye." But the goodbye is supposed to be more like menacing, like goodbye.
oh
you're
yeah,
gonna die.
yeah. So the main lady gets
I don't-
attacked at at her house,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and like the psychic lady calls her, being like,
Oh, like, did
Oh,
someone
did-
break into your house last night? She's like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye.
Alright, good to know. Let's see you later.
I'm not gonna give you any more.
Yeah.
Well, goodbye. You're dead. That's what that goodbye felt like. Just like, oh, well, you're dead. Goodbye.
I don't. It just. I don't know. There just felt like a lot of times something was stated, and I don't know. Maybe like it was like the bit of the ambiance or something that was just like, this feels funny, but I don't feel like it was purposeful. But I don't think it was purposeful.
I will say the Vestron video opening logo,
Love the best.
5 stars.
Yes.
Fire.
So
Amazing.
there's a company that is going back and rebuying Vestron video rights.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
So like this, and they release the Blu-rays
did they
as
keep
like
the logo?
Vestron Video Collector's Edition. So that's what this episode or maybe future episode, Shopping Mall. When shopping costs you an arm and a leg.
And then you said that went by a different title, and then it was like, oh,
Yes. Shopping
Well,
Mall
maybe we
went.
should save it for when we.
Yeah, we'll
if
say
we
that.
made
That's-
Sorry,
maybe
we
I
might
should.
come to it.
I like
Spoil
that
it
story,
later.
so that's why I was slightly bringing it
Sure.
up.
Stay tuned.
So yeah, do we have much more to say about?
Well, Barb, our guest editor
yes.
tonight, she did watch it. She gave it a 2.5 out of 5. So, what about you guys?
2 or 2.5.
Probably 2.
I'm going 3.5. I don't mind slow burn personally, but
I don't know, with other slow burn
Like
movies,
Phenomena
maybe I
felt like a slow burn, but we both liked that movie.
I like that definitely more.
I mean, Phenomena did get like bonkers though.
I
Like
think
it just went.
I
Yeah.
think that's
It
kind
went
of
nuts,
I've got
which helps.
at least like with slow burn like I don't know how many I've really seen, but most of the ones I have seen, it does straight up go crazy. So this being like, oh, it's not really crazy. Like
Like
I
the
think
very,
I
it's
have
very level.
I have
There's not
Phenomena
enough
and
payoff for
yeah,
it.
I have Phenomena and Malignant to kind of
Sure.
base like I guess like slow burnish kind of movies.
Okay.
That, oh wait, maybe it's not Malignant. It's what's that one that Gianna showed?
Hereditary.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the other because that
Sure.
one just also
Yeah.
just straight up
Yeah.
kind of goes crazy.
Okay.
So maybe I just have to give other slow
Just
burn.
a side note,
Yes. Go.
because Mother's Day is coming up, I will say, Shadow in the Cloud is an amazing Mother's Day movie.
Mother's Day movie.
Mother's
I
Day,
love
yeah,
it. I love
yeah,
it.
Yeah,
It's a good Mother's Day film.
it is. It really is.
Yeah. So I think out of all the movies, that's
I
our
prefer-
big recommend.
For Mother's Day, my mother wants to be on one of these things, so maybe we should just bring my mother in and just.
Your mother?
She wants to be part of one of these things.
Your mother wants to be on this.
She wants to be on a live stream or
That's-
some part of like. She
that's so
likes
cute.
the idea of the discussion thing. She,
Okay.
Has she been tuning in?
She hasn't, but like when I keep telling her about it, she's like, "Man, I want to be on an episode."
That's
And
so
I'm
cute.
like,
Very good.
Sure,
Okay. Maybe we can think of something somehow to make.
because
that
we're
happen.
not allowing her to choose the movie.
Oh, definitely. Not.
We're not allowing.
I don't know who your mother is. but
Exactly.
definitely not.
You're gonna find out who she
Oh.
is. And
Okay.
her I just feel like her movie choices are very just basic.
Your mother's basic. Is what
But
it's saying.
she watched *Malignant*.
You heard it here.
She watched *Malignant*,
Hunter's is basic.
but she watched *Malignant*, so I'm like,
Okay.
Did
I
she
don't
like
know.
it?
She I can pull up what exactly she said.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Um,
Mike. Play the Mario song. Make Hunter do the Mario.
That was like the worst part of that episode.
It was weird.
It's kind of, I don't know, we're all doing it.
I didn't like.
It's pretty much like she said. It was weird because at one point I had thought it could have been one of those twins that are not all developed and was attached to her, and maybe they removed him and threw him out or something, but that maybe he crawled out of the garbage and escaped. I was kind of close.
Okay.
But then when I said that to
That's
you,
good
though, you
case.
said it was
Yeah.
kind of, like
It's
fantasy
fantasy
case.
Okay. Cool. Well,
And I
that's
think
it.
That's all the
It
movies
was a
that we
movie.
went through.
That's
So-
it.
What was your favorite album?
Do you want to start?
Rank it. Let's do a ranking.
Yeah, I guess we could do a ranking.
This one's best. That one's in a good spot. This is definitely over here.
Okay.
All the way at the end.
Oh, that's how you do it?
Well, like, how are
Worst
they
to best?
seeing it? How are they kind of
Worst
seeing
to best? Or
Is
is it
this-
opposite?
No, it's up to you. It depends.
Worst
Okay.
to
That's
best.
your opinion? Is that
Where
your
do you
opinion
want to
too,
put
Hunter?
Mario, though?
it? Oh, where are you?
We
putting-
won't.
Over here?
Well, where are you putting Mario?
Right here.
Okay.
In
Well,
between
you're,
these two.
you're slightly dead to me, but that's fine.
Okay.
Where you're gonna put it here? or here?
I'm probably gonna put it. I'd put the Mario movie here, but the other three are, about the same. I would not watch Soul Survivor again.
Okay. That's fair, though. All right.
What
Well,
about you?
I'd say your order's pretty good.
Where would you put the Mario movie?
Well, I don't want to be dead to you.
No, you're not actually dead to me. It's just
Okay.
like
Okay.
no, I think it's more because you did mention that you prefer the first one, and that breaks my heart.
All right. Here's the thing. I would probably watch the Mario Brother movie again before Soul Survivor.
Okay.
But like, I don't know. Without Soul Survivor, we don't have Final Destination or It Follows.
So
that
you're
doesn't
fi-
mean that it's
so
a
are
good
you like
movie.
back? So
It means it's like important,
So
and we
it's
can
third.
appreciate it.
You're-
That doesn't
I
mean it's
appreciate it.
good.
you're putting it in third.
No.
On like out of these.
I'm saying two separate things. I
So-
will likely rewatch Mario Brother before Soul Survivor.
Okay.
But Soul Survivor's probably
But I'm
better.
still putting Mario Brothers at the end.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
this has been fun.
Someone's gonna
Dead
die.
today. So this is my last episode, guys.
Oh.
Oh, God,
Oh my God.
They're telling us to stop.
The
The
lights.
batteries are
Stop.
dying on the batteries. Well, this has been
Back to the
Back to the
movies.
movies.
I guess short.
And we talked through a lot of movies. That was cool.
That was a good amount. Like I feel like that was a good amount of time with 4 movies that we talked.
Sure.
Wasn't too long. Wasn't.
Yeah, this
Too
one wasn't
short.
stressful because
Okay.
it was just you guys.
It's just the 3 of us.
Just
But
chill.
I guess we probably are like the very originals of
Sure.
this group.
Sure.
Like because we do have the original recipe of like the live stream thing, but I think we were like the core 3 of the movie tiers.
Right. Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, thank you for watching. Past Mike, play us out.
Not
Let's see if I actually do
Not
that.
the Mario thing. Don't play.
Don't play. Mike, quit playing the Mario, Mike. Mike, play something nice. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
We'll cut to the Menendez thing.
We'll cut to the.
Menendez.
No, we'll probably cut to the janky prospect.
We just have a
Which
cut.
everyone hates except for Ryan.
The cut of Randy. Like, look at me, look at me go!
I don't like this.